Hello and welcome to Catherine's Garden. Well, I want to introduce you to the bee balm in my garden, and I also want to divide it and spread it to other parts of the garden. As part of the mint family, the leaves and blooms have minty taste and a pleasing citrus aroma. Historical sources have noted that bee balm leaves and flowers are commonly brewed to make tea. Bee balm can grow in zones 4 to 9. It can be planted in spring or fall. Bee balm thrives in full sun to part shade. Bee balm is a great companion plant, and you can see that it works very well with my butterfly bush, daylilies, and other perennials. Now, doesn't this look like firecrackers? Celebration going on here with that bee balm. You know, I saw a hummingbird here. They were loving it, loving this bee balm. Hello, and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home. It's so good to be here with you today. Well, today is a good day to divide the bee balm. So what I'm going to do is go into the front garden, and I'm going to take some patches of the bee balm and transplant them to different parts of the garden, actually to one particular section, because I want to see the beautiful tops, the beautiful flower of the bee balm in July. And also at that time, that's when the hummingbirds come into the garden and the bees are fluttering around, and also the butterflies. They love the flower of the bee balm, and then it has such a beautiful aroma. So dividing bee balm, which is a perennial, is not a very difficult thing to do. What you do is you just get a nice little patch, make sure you get a little root underneath there, and you put it in the soil and water it in really well, and it will develop and grow. And then each year it will spread out, because bee balm is from the mint family. So it is a little invasive, but I have a lot of space and I want to fill up the garden as much as possible with as much beauty as possible. So I don't mind if it spreads, because I can always cut and divide it and put it in a different area. So come with me as I show you the process, and we just enjoy being outside in the fresh air, enjoying this beautiful, beautiful day. Well, if you like this video, then like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to Catherine's Garden for more videos, and I will be sharing with you different things that I'm going to be doing in the garden and how I expand my garden without having to spend that extra cash. Yeah, it's good to buy the perennials that you are able to divide and multiply in your garden. And that's what I've done a lot of here in Catherine's Garden with different plants like the hostas and the bee balm and the dahlias, also the perennial geraniums, and some other plants as well, like the dianthus and all of the grasses, the white grasses that I have in my yard. It's because I've been able to cut them up, divide them, and put them in different spots in the garden, and they have thrived. And whatever lives, lives, and whatever doesn't, well, it wasn't meant to be. right here in this front bed, I have my bee balm. And so what I would like to do is to cut it, divide it up a little bit, and spread it and put it in other parts of the garden. So my goal is to go in and do some cutting and dividing there. Then also I have these Stella d'Oro daylilies that I can also cut and divide and put into other parts of the garden. But I definitely want to transplant and divide this bee balm. If you look at it, it's very easy to do. What I'm going to need to do is get my shovel or a trowel and just dig underneath it and make sure that I get as much root as possible, and then I'll be able to transplant it to another part of the garden. Alright, so I have with me my trowel and this container that I'm going to use to gather the bee balm in. And I'm going to take this little patch right here. And so I'm going to set up the camera so that you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so what I'm doing is just going to dig underneath this and try to get up as much of the roots as possible. So you can kind of like dig around it like this and try and get as much of the root. It kind of, I think it's like part of the mint family. Oh, and it smells so beautiful, the bee balm. So as you can see, I'm just like pulling it up and just give it a little tug. So this is a good clump here, and it will spread, and that's how I want to pick it up. And now is really the best time because it's still young and it will be able to catch root really quick. So I think I'm going to take another chunk from here. It might not be as easy because that was just perfect, but we're going to do our best. So I'm going to just use my hand here and get underneath it and pull it out. Yeah, that's a good piece also. Oops. So that's two good pieces. You don't even miss it. I see another piece right there that I want to get. The reason why is because it's really close to the dahlias. Look, daylilies, excuse me. It's really close to the daylilies right there. That is a good clump right there. So I think that's enough. I think that this is good enough here for this. This would probably be the clump right here that I'm going to take up for the daylily. But with this, I'm going to need a shovel. So I will be back for that. But I really want to get these bee balm in the ground. Okay, so in this bed, I want to add those bee balm at both ends of the column. So I'm going to just go on into this bed and I'm going to plant some at each end. I want to plant some right here, and then I want to plant some more on this side here. Alright, so let me get with it and then I will show you afterwards. It's not that hard. Actually, I can actually probably hold it in my hand and do it at the same time. Because of the way that it came up, it will be easy to put it in there. So what you want to do is just dig a small, not too, it doesn't have to be too deep. But dig away the area and then take your clump and put it in like that, and then just press it in. Make sure that it's getting contact, that the roots are getting contact with the soil. And press it in, and then watering in, and that's it. You have a new patch of bee balm. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to put some right here. I'll put a little bit more on this side here. So I have this nice little space. Now the bee balm grows to a good height, so it makes it stand out, because this bed gets pretty full and tall. So I'm gonna put this one in here. Kind of press it in. That's it. Done. All right. And now this bigger piece here, I'm going to put on this side. Right about here. Now, this plant here, that is a dianthus, and it has really pretty flowers. Then I'm going to put that here, the bee balm right here. You can see it. So just take it like that, put it in, press it down, and cover it up. Cover up the roots. And that's it. So what I need to do is to get some water and water it in. So I'm just going to water it in, and that will be that. I wanted to give it a good soak. Even though the ground is pretty moist. You still want to water it in really well so there aren't any air pockets. And we're not expecting rain for a while, so you want to make sure that they are in there. And so that's about it. Last year I planted a patch of the bee balm, and they are spreading. You can see them coming out here in this bed. So they return and they spread just like mint. You see where the old stalks are right there? That's how I know where I place them. So over time, you know, as the weather gets better and the rains come, they're going to shoot up. But I think the temperature's a little different in the front garden than it is in this back garden. It's probably a little cooler, so that's why you don't see it as much. But it's beautiful, and they'll come up, and at a certain time, like mid-summer, they'll show up in July, you know, end of June and into July, looking really pretty. Yeah, now this is another section, and I have these tomatoes here, so I'm just continuing to harvest the tomatoes. I did so yesterday, but you can see that they're really flourishing nicely. Look at that. I love that. These are the 100s. They're doing well. And then, you know, in here, those lilies came up. Those are the stargazer lilies, and I planted them there, not realizing that these tomatoes were going to just overshadow them and cover them up. So next year I'm going to have to come up with something better. But look at the tomatoes. I'm going to have a lot of these little tomatoes, and they are delicious. Well, if you like this video, then like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to Catherine's Garden for more videos, and I will be sharing with you different things that I'm going to be doing in the garden and how I expand my garden without having to spend that extra cash. Yeah, it's good to buy the perennials that you are able to divide and multiply in your garden. And that's what I've done a lot of here in Catherine's Garden with different plants like the hostas and the bee balm and the dahlias, also the perennial geraniums and some other plants as well, like the dianthus and all of the grasses, the white grasses that I have in my yard. It's because I've been able to cut them up, divide them, and put them in different spots in the garden, and they have thrived. And whatever lives, lives, and whatever doesn't, well, it wasn't meant to be. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and see you next time. Let us also please remember to subscribe to Catherine's Garden and Home. Hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell for more videos to come. And let us grow together. Yes, grow, grow, grow together. I was thinking of that, what I said before, and it came into my mind as a song. Grow, grow, grow together. Let us grow, grow, grow together here in Catherine's Garden and Home. Well, see you tomorrow. See you the next time. Actually, my next video is going to be about the daffodils, and then I'm hoping to give you a beautiful Easter tour of the garden, because by that time a lot of the daffodils will be open and other plants, spring bulbs, will be opening. So looking forward to seeing you there with those future videos coming up. Well, have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Bye. For more videos, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And thank you so much for watching. See you next time right here in Catherine's Garden. Bye.